Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. In the description of this video, you can find my compiled link. Through there, you can find ways to support the channel, my other social media, and more. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching. How's it going, everybody? CJ here, back another video. We're doing a first thoughts today. This first thoughts is on Elminster. Cool new planeswalker that can be your commander from Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate. Super sweet. It's +2. It's 5 mana, enters with 5 loyalty. It's +2 is Serum Visions. That's powerful. And it's -3. Exile a top card of your library. Create a number of 1/1 fairy dragon creature tokens with flying equal to the mana value. That's sweet. This is a cool card. I'm excited about this one. And it's static. Its static ability is the best part. Whenever you scry, the next instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn costs X less to cast, where X is the number of cards looked at while scrying this way. That's awesome. So its +2 is really draw a card, scry 2, get a 2 mana discount on your next spell. That's awesome. Super powerful card here. And the categories I'll be talking about today are additional ways to scry. For the most part, they're either mana neutral or mana positive based around his static ability. Then we have some top deck manipulation. We've got top of library matters. Between the top deck manipulation and the scrying, it seems like you're going to want to have a lot of top of deck matters cards. I mean, its -3 is very much a top of deck matters ability, so we got to lean into that a little bit. We got big spells to cast for cheap because of the scrying ability. Planeswalker stuff, because I think this could be a cool Super Friends commander. And we just have a bunch of one-off cards to talk about. So let's just hop into this. Some scrying stuff. Castle Vantress. This is the only one that's like really not mana positive out of all the ones I'm going to be talking about here. And it's because it's on a land. It's just pretty powerful. Crystal Ball seems fantastic in the deck. Darksteel Pendant's nice. Deliberate is nice. Fairy Seer off the ETB, really nice. Eyes Everywhere, pretty good card here. Lets you just scry at the beginning of your upkeep, which is cool. You have Foresee, Graven Lore, and Merit Lage's Slumber. Both of those make you want to lean into some snow basics, which I like. Jace Mirror Mage. It's got a good plus to scry, and you can make a token copy of it that can plus to scry as well, so that's extra scrying. You have Maze Mind's Tome, which is a pretty nice card, and it can turn to card draw if you really want it. Minimize Prophecy is not bad. Opt is pretty solid, same thing with Preordain and Serum Visions, of course, which I already mentioned. Omen of the Sea is nice, especially because you can also sacrifice it to scry. You have Scour All Possibilities. It's got flashback, so it's got a little extra utility there. Thassa, a very nice scry engine there. And Tamio's Epiphany. All those seem like very good includes in this deck. Next, I'm going to be talking about some top deck manipulation. So first off, I'm actually going to talk about cards that will just let you look at the top card of your library, because that's always nice. So you can use cards like Cemetery Illuminator. You can use Precognition Field, really nice because you can also cast instants and sorceries off the top of your library with that. The Reality Chip, powerful card there. Verge Rangers, lets you play lands, that's a fun one. And Future Sight. Although the top card of your library is revealed, it's still a very powerful card for this deck. And now we're going to talk about some additional top deck manipulation to go in with the scrying. You have Sensei's Divining Top, fantastic card. Scroll Rack, Penance, and Brainstorm all let you put cards from your hand on the top of your library so you can kind of move stuff around if you need to. And you got Mystical Tutor, Personal Tutor, and Enlightened Tutor. All those let you tutor stuff directly from your deck onto the top of your library. That's awesome. That's super powerful. And if you're going to run all this top deck manipulation, you might as well run cards that work well with top deck manipulation. And those include God Eternal Kefnet, get some cheap instant and sorcery spells. I love that. You have Miracles. Miracles seem fantastic because you can make sure they're the first card you draw on a turn, so that way you can get the miracle effect. And some of the miracles include Banishing Stroke, Devastation Tide, Entreat the Angels, Temporal Mastery, and Terminus. Approach to the Second Sun seems like a fantastic win con in this deck, just because you can scry your way to it very quickly. Conundrum Sphinx, just a quirky card, seems fun in the deck. Counterbalance and Swindler Scheme are going to make your opponents hate you, but they both seem very powerful in this build. And Psychic Battle and Time Sifter. These are two of my favorite cards. They're really, really weird, but they're very fun. And, well, fun for you. And they can have a very powerful deck if you can manipulate the top of your library, and that's what this deck does. So those seem fantastic. Time Sifter could let you just chain turns together. It's sweet. I like that combination a lot. Next, we're going to talk about big spells you can just cast for cheap because of Scrying and Elminster's ability. So those include extra turn spells like Temporal Trespass, Time Stretch, Expropriate, and Nexus of Fate, along with all the other extra turn spells. They all seem great in this deck. Storm Herd seems pretty cool in this deck. You can make a buttload of tokens. Mnemonic Deluge and Aminatu's Augury, both those seem very powerful. Emergency Powers is a super sweet card, and you can even use the discount on just your board wipes and such, like Farewell. Just anything. The discount is just really nice. Next, I'm going to talk about some Planeswalker synergies. You have Karn's Bastion, Flux Channeler, Inexorable Tide, and Contagion Engine, all let you proliferate and just add counters, which is really nice. You have Oath of Teferi and Chain Veil, which lets you activate your Planeswalkers more than once a turn. Deep Glow Skate, just double the number of counters. That seems fantastic. Urza's Ruinous Blast and other board wipes are going to be very important for this deck because you're going to have, especially if you go heavy on Planeswalkers and actually make it a Super Friends deck, because you're not going to be able to have a lot of ways to block your opponents from attacking your Planeswalkers. So you're going to need to be able to reset the board a lot. Brago's pretty cool, especially if a lot of Planeswalkers, because you can activate your Planeswalkers in your first main, go to combat, Brago hits, you flicker all your Planeswalkers and activate them again in the second main. That seems sweet. You can tutor out your Planeswalkers with Ignite the Beacon, deploy the Gatewatch, and call the Gatewatch if you're in the Super Friends deck. And Luxior seems pretty cool in this deck because you can turn Elminster into a creature. And now he can't be attacked directly. Plus he enters with 5 loyalties, so he's already a big creature. Like if you play Elminster plus him to equip Luxior, he's a 7/7. That's big. That's sweet. And if you do go with the Super Friends theme, some of the powerful Planeswalkers you could look into include Elspeth, Wandering Emperor, you've got Teferi, Narset, Jace, Ugin. There's a whole mess of Planeswalkers that work really well in this deck. And now we're on to the one-off cards. For the one-off cards, we've got Mystic Sanctuary. Lets you bring back an instant sorcery from your graveyard and put it on top of your library exactly where you want it. So you can pick something big to either draw and cast, or something big to -3 and exile it and make a bunch of tokens. Elegith is really cool in this deck. He's kind of a non-bow with a lot of the deck though, but he makes a lot of the cards just significantly more powerful. So it turns your scrying into drawing. So it means that you won't be able to decrease the mana cost of your spells, but Elminster's +2 becomes draw 3. So that might be worthwhile. That's pretty cool. You have Spark Double. Spark Double seems pretty sweet in this deck. Just make 2 Elminsters, why not? Pull from Eternity. If you exile a really good spell off of Elminster's -3, then you can get it back if you need to. That's a nice little include there. You've got a bunch of token synergies, including cards like Anointed Procession to double up the number of tokens that you create with Elminster. Divine Visitation. Who needs Fairy Dragons when you have Angels? Junkwinder seems really good in this deck, especially if it's more of a Super Friend style deck, because you can make a bunch of tokens and tap down all the threats that could attack your Planeswalkers. And then Intangible Virtue. +1/+1 and Vigilance is pretty solid. And lastly, some card draw synergies, because you are drawing a lot of cards in this deck. You can throw in Ominous Seas, Toothy, Chasm Skulker, and Psychosis Crawler. All of those can put in a lot of work for you. And that is everything I have for Elminster. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, everybody.